Welcome to Micro Spotlights with me, Planko and Chill. Today we're checking out the Socery pack in Planet Coaster 2. If you're new here, these are scenery packs. I'm starting with all the ones in the game. I've done the Western pack, I've done the Viking pack, and I've done the Toy Box pack, which I routinely call the cartoon pack. But this is the Socery pack, and this is an amazing set of blueprints. Starting out with this archway, I love this. This was our, here guys, it's sort of spooky. Have this for your spooky time parks. But I am really hoping for a spooky pack, which goes a little harder than this. This is more fantasy, fun type of spooky, but it definitely added a lot to the game. The blueprints also teach you a lot about building, which is something I found out. Here's another great archway. I call these a funeral arch. You find these commonly in like big cemeteries. Probably not even this ornate though. This pack does have 3 archways. I know I mentioned before that not all packs have 3 archways or more. I'm not sure if any have 4 archways. It's possible because the Planet Coaster pack is ridiculous. It's huge. And there's a lot of overhead pieces. This amazing centerpiece could even double as like an arch or the entrance to a really elaborate castle-themed coaster or fantasy dark ride. This is amazing. Here's the 3 wizards. They are fighting or controlling this structure in the middle. And then, of course, you have this extremely decorative top. And they even lit the top, accent lighting on a blueprint piece. Wild, right? Here are some buildings. I know it's hard to look on both sides of the street. And I made the streets a bit narrow on purpose, just to give you that forced upward kind of view. Awesome. And then this skinny one right here. This fantastic hanging lamp right here. And the colored smoke coming out of the chimney. These are, I would say, probably the second most detailed blueprints in the game, in my opinion. There are obviously more detailed blueprints coming up with the sci-fi pack. There's even an ambient fog somewhere nearby here. They certainly played with all the pieces. I think they seem to be most excited to release this pack. Someone at Frontier was definitely into it. Here's a really cool place. It sells like cauldrons and spell books. It's like an entrance. Could be an entrance to a whole land where you do that stuff. A slightly crooked small building. Love it. I love it. This is the nice thing of being able to tilt structures now in the game. You can achieve this nice crooked feel. I always admire the people that build like a full like I call it Harry Potter Street. It's, you know, all the crooked buildings like Diagon Alley is, elaborate tall crooked buildings like that in that older European style of buildings, which I think here in the US we commonly call this Victorian, and I don't think that's incredibly accurate. I think it's more like when the aristocracy was in power, you know, lords and ladies and whatnot, the buildings often looked like this. Maybe not as much as we fantasize they do, but that's just what we do over time. Here's another cool, like, centerpiece archway. There are bits of this that are not visible because of the way the pathing is. I did that on purpose. Had a person ask questions about that before. I did do that on purpose. I did that so that you can go grab these blueprints yourself and explore them. They are in the game. As long as you own the DLC, they are in the game. See, it's like the entrance to like a coffee shop, because I placed this one wrong, but I wanted you to see the bag and the extent that they went through to detail the bag. You'll notice even like adding this feature here. Even these between pillars, I mean, that takes all the flat out of the wall. I'm learning that now in my own builds, that the more flat you take out of the walls, the better. like the better, as long as it makes sense somehow. Here is a tree with a rock in it. Kind of wild. Wild choice. But I like it, right? And then here's just like a ploppable. I call these ploppables. They're clutter. They're buildings to add just for the fun of adding it. And again, accent lit all the way up. Some cobwebs over a cauldron. And a ruined building. This is cool. Not enough of this in the game. So yeah, if you guys want to submit like packs of blueprints that all fit a common theme like this, I've really thought about going through each of the themes and building my own set of ploppable items like this. Just using, you know, inspirational images and using this stuff and just trying to get some ideas. And then look at up inside the spire. That swirling ball thing is up there that the wizards are trying to control the other one. Right here, just some ancient runes and stuff. I'm trying to think of which one of these spotlights I once had in a park. Spotlights. I'm wondering which of these blueprints I once had in a park. If you can name the park that had the fantasy pack blueprints, let me know in the comments. Here's a shop ploppable. And if you'll notice, this piece on the front of the shop, this is something cool that I'm starting to pick up. If you peek through there, you know, I've laid every blueprint in the game off into the distance in every direction. But it's cool because this appears in another variation in the Small Town Pack, in the Parades DLC. You start to see that in a lot of blueprints. There's repeat pieces. But they were like clearly assets in like whatever 3D modeling software is used for the game. Look at that. The way the sun hits off that spire at the top. And there's this huge cauldron in this field. What I did was I made sure the pathway didn't go in there because I don't want to disturb this sacred place. Not sure what's going on there. I don't want to get tangled up in it. You guys understand. Here's this awesome ploppable spire. And then this wizard fight, or not wizard fight, but this wizard like control of the floating crystal. I mean, that's a mover under there with the crystal. You know, they've really gone all out to kind of make an all-around awesome blueprint that you can use in your parks. And it's very hard to top this. I know it's a bit of a controversy in some games when the developers build stuff that's very hard to beat as a player, even if you're advanced. There, I've right-clicked out of the pack by accident. But one thing I want to do is kind of fly over the pack just to show you. I didn't do that in the previous ones, and I apologize, but I am going to show you the backs. I've been thinking about it while we've been going through this pack, and I think that's what I want to do is show you kind of the backs quickly of all these. See, there's not a ton missing that I don't show. A lot of the boring parts go to the back. I don't want to disturb that ancient site, so I am going to come back around here. Yeah, if you guys watch my channel long enough, I do have a problem. Here's this cool one. I do have a problem with right-clicking my way out of stuff. So I'm going to put myself back. I'm not going to edit that out either. Just so you can see what I do, because I do it stupidly. I do it very suddenly. My pinky, or my ring finger on my right hand just sort of twitches every now and then. And it clicks it. I try to tape it to my pinky. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I duct tape it to my pinky so it stays away from the mouse, but somehow it always finds its way over there. And generally I have to edit it out of videos 2 or 3 times a video. So that is everything in the Socery DLC. That is an awesome set of blueprints. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you're enjoying Micro Spotlights. Start getting those to me. I have a submission form that I'm dropping in the description. Go ahead and get those to me. Remember, make it 3 to 6 blueprints or more that kind of all fit a central theme. So there's one last look down the street. Awesome. And remember, if you enjoyed this, be sure to hit the like. And if you're not new, welcome back. If you're new, hit the subscribe button, please. It lets me know that you enjoyed the video, and it makes sure that you're updated on all the new videos that come out.